Hey everyone, welcome back to Schmidt's Farm and Outdoors. Right now, the pheasant chicks are 21 days old. So let's take a look at how they've grown from a day old chick all the way to their progress at 21 days. So you can see that the biggest difference from when they were day old chicks versus now is the amount of feather growth that they have. Right now we have the cages set up with chicken wire mesh over the top because some of them are starting to jump and fly, and so we don't want them escaping. Something else that we changed since when they were a few days old is that the water containers, they no longer have rocks in them. We picked all the rocks out because there's no longer a risk or a fear of them drowning. So we got all those piled up on the side right here. Additionally, because pheasants are kind of aggressive or predatory towards each other, at least a little bit, I have fresh greens inside of each of the boxes. And what this does is it just kind of, especially when you throw it in right away, it kind of gives them something to peck at versus each other. After about the first week, or maybe somewhere between the first and second week, we also increased the height of the lamps. So right now we kind of have it set up as high as possible, and that just helps it so that the temperature down below isn't as hot now that they're starting to get feathers in. But these lamps were hanging maybe 3 or 4 inches lower before, so that's something to note. Something else that we're monitoring really closely is our success rates with these chicks. We started off with 105 birds, about 35 chicks in each box, and we've lost about 15 chicks in total by third week. And so I don't think that's too bad. Usually, from my experience, if you can get a 75% success rate from day-old chicks all the way up to fully grown birds, that's pretty good. And then the other thing is, usually when we have the chicks, you lose most of them in the first 2 weeks. Sometimes you lose some around the 3-week mark as well. But we're doing really well so far, and it's something that we're gonna try and perfect the best we can. So what's next for the chicks, and when do we bring them outside? This is our pheasant pen that we built in 2020, 4 years ago, and we got a door on that side and a door on this side. It's 10 feet this way, I believe, and 30 feet across, and those are outside dimensions. But anyway, we had lots of rain this spring and a little bit of flooding, and so usually by the 3rd week mark we would consider bringing them outside if the weather looked all right. And it has been kind of rainy lately, and parts of the pen are still not very dry. It's pretty muddy. I had to bring the rototill in here and run it for a little while, and then also the rake. But I think since this side is dry, we're probably going to run extension cords from the house in that side, and then hang lights through the rafters so that they can have the hot lamps here. And then we'll put the food and water out here too, and we'll kind of section it off so that they can't run all the way over to that side and get too far away from the heat lamps. But that's the goal for week 4. Thanks everyone for tuning into this week's video. Hope to see you next week when we move the pheasants out to their pen.